Vince, I'll push you all I want. Vince, I'll kick you in the nuts and you'll smile at me and like it and show me some respect.
CM Punk is a controversial figure in professional wrestling, so it shouldn't surprise you he has a share of friends and more than a few enemies. Join us now as WrestleLamia looks at wrestlers CM Punk likes and those he can't stand or can't stand him. Be sure to subscribe and hit that notification bell for daily wrestling videos.
But may I say something to you as your best friend?
As my friend, yes.
Let's start off with friends of CM Punk as number 1, John Cena.
I'd even have a CM Punk ice cream bar.
John Cena's feud with CM Punk was one of the rare instances where fans were uncertain whether they were watching a shoot or a storyline. Not only did Punk's 2011 pipe bomb promo keep fans guessing what was going on, but his announcement he was leaving the WWE with the championship after his contract expired had fans scrambling to see what would happen next.
Who knows? Maybe I'll go defend it in New Japan Pro Wrestling. Maybe I'll go back to Ring of Honor.
Cena and Punk worked a highly regarded feud and along the way became friends backstage. Number 2, Brock Lesnar. Brock Lesnar and CM Punk are both iconoclasts, doing their own thing on their own terms, such as both men's decision to pursue MMA after their time in the WWE. When Punk decided to see if he had what it takes to compete in the octagon, he asked Lesnar, who achieved success as UFC heavyweight champion, what his biggest challenge was adapting to the UFC. While the Beast could have ignored Punk, he graciously shared his experience. Punk recalls, "I asked him what the hardest thing for him to do was, because obviously he's a freak athlete, but something had to be difficult, and I find it's the exact same that I'm having difficulty with, which is learning to let go. Striking or sparring is completely different. Somebody's trying to punch me in the face and I'm trying to punch someone in the face, but often I'll find I'm too light on guys if I'm working on his ground game. It's like the old pro wrestling kicking in, and he had the same problem." Although Punk's UFC career didn't pan out, he did get a friendship with Brock Lesnar out of it. Number 3, Kofi Kingston. While Kofi Kingston's partnership with Big E and Xavier Woods as the New Day is what most fans think of when Kofi's name is mentioned, the former WWE champion had a solid upper-card career prior to teaming with the New Day, including a 47-day reign with the World Tag Team Championship alongside CM Punk. During an interview with AC Wrestling, Wrestling's Dreadlock Dynamo explained, "I was tag team champions with CM Punk, which was awesome because I learned so much from him. He was one of the guys who took me under his wing when he didn't have to. I was always grateful for that friendship." Kofi's journey to the top was a long and winding road, but it's obvious his team and subsequent friendship with Punk was a rewarding part of his journey. Number 4, Bret Hart.
I underestimated your brilliance.
Although Bret Hart had long retired from the ring before CM Punk's campaign in the WWE, the two enjoyed friendship formed out of mutual respect after Punk stood his ground and walked out on the WWE in 2014 over his perceived mistreatment in the company. Hart also supported Punk's decision to pursue MMA, tweeting after Punk's first UFC loss, "As for CM Punk, he is, was, and always will be my hero, a man of great courage and fight. He'll be back." The excellence of execution has been vocal about his respect for Punk standing up for himself and for what Hart sees as Punk also standing up for his peers. During an appearance on the In This Corner podcast, the Hitman commented, "You know his standing up and saying, 'Hey, I'm doing all the work around here. You're gonna give Bautista and Brock Lesnar and Triple H, all these guys who are part-timers who are home every day, they're getting all the main event matches at WrestleMania, and I'm the one pulling the wagon around here, and I want to be in the main event.' They tried to smooth it over and sugarcoat it and offer him everything but a main event spot, so he quit like he held him up on that. Punk earned Hart's respect, and the two men eventually met, becoming fast friends." Number 5, Luke Gallows. Long before he returned from New Japan Pro Wrestling to work in the WWE as The Club, Luke Gallows wrestled alongside CM Punk as a member of Punk's Straight Edge Society.
But then I helped him, just like I could help all of you.
Punk went to bat for Gallows, helping him to get over after his goofy gimmick as Festus, and praised Gallows for his work. The two have remained friends, and Punk has praised Gallows' work. And number 6, Bautista. Some fans might think Dave Bautista and CM Punk aren't friends just because Bautista voiced his displeasure with the straight edge superstar walking out on the WWE in 2014. That's actually not the case, with Punk telling Collider Live, The funny thing about me and Dave Bautista too is that Dave 100% disagrees with me the way that I left, but we're both grown-ass men who can talk about it instead of just throwing stones. Punk and Bautista have maintained their friendship, showing friends can have different opinions about things without parting ways. But those were 6 WWE wrestlers that Punk is friends with. What about enemies? And funny enough, there's more enemies than friends.
Frankly, I think it's been a long time coming. Me and you have never liked each other.
Number 1. Colt Cabana. CM Punk and Colt Cabana, aka Scott Colton, worked together as the Second City Saints, and while on-screen friendship is no evidence of real-life friendship, Punk and Cabana were once the closest of friends. After Punk walked out on the WWE in 2014, Colton shared his podcast Art of Wrestling as a platform for Punk to talk about his experiences in the company. Punk brought up a number of wrongs, including what he characterized as medical malpractice by WWE Dr. Christopher Amann. Amann sued both Punk and Colton for defamation of character, and while the case was dismissed, Colton then sued Punk, claiming he'd promised to pay his legal expenses. Punk then counter-sued Colton, and as you probably imagine, their friendship ended. Both men settled out of court, with PW Insider claiming the case was resolved with neither individual paying the other.
And right now, this isn't CM Punk talking to Triple H. This is Phil Brooks talking to Paul Levesque.
This one should come as no surprise due to Punk's problems during and after his WWE career. You'll recall that there were talks of Triple H sabotaging Punk's push by putting himself into a program against Punk and then defeating him for no apparent reason after 2011's Summer of Punk. As WrestleLamia has documented in past videos, a former WWE writer revealed that Shawn Michaels and Triple H mocked Punk's efforts during his early days in the WWE too, attempting to bury the new star. We may have to add Shawn Michaels' name to the enemy list also. Number 3. Jeff Hardy.
People actually cheering because you haven't failed a drug test in a year.
In a case of a storyline coming too close to home, Jeff Hardy's feud against CM Punk saw Punk's straight-edge superstar character admonish Hardy for the charismatic Enigma's well-known penchant for partying. After he left the WWE, an apparently intoxicated Jeff cut the following promo on Punk.
What the hell does straight edge mean again? The first ever straight edge world heavyweight champion. I think Christian said it best. CM Punk, I think you're a nerd. I get cocky every now and then. I'll say, you paid to see me, you paid to see me, but I made CM Punk a f***ing superstar. And that's a fact, Jack. And I'll end it like this. Bam! Oh.
Rumor has it Jeff reassessed his opinion of Punk later, but there's no word on whether Jeff's latest battles with personal demons have changed things. Number 4. Ryback. Like CM Punk, Ryback is a strong-minded individual who doesn't hold back on sharing his opinions regardless of consequences. Both Punk and Ryback have exchanged barbs throughout the years, with Punk accusing Ryback of working sloppy and injuring him, as well as accusing the big guy of using steroids. Ryback has repeatedly mocked Punk and maintained an unapologetic attitude about it, using his conversations with the big guy Ryback show as his anti-Punk soapbox.
He did, and I've talked well about him more than I even have the right to on anything, on the things that he's done and whatnot. That guy single-handedly caused a lot of people to not like me.
Like many of the individuals on our list, it seems unlikely we'll be seeing Punk and Ryback reconciling their differences. Number 5. Elijah Burke. Elijah Burke is perhaps best known in the WWE for his run as a member of the New Breed, a group of superstars competing in the WWE's reboot of ECW.
I just want you to know that the New Breed take care of their own.
Burke wrestled CM Punk during their time together in the brand, but Burke apparently didn't impress Punk, who commented about him during a 2012 appearance on Philadelphia's WISX-FM show.
My least favorite opponent? Does anybody even remember Elijah Burke?
Yeah, the Pope.
Yeah? Oh, he was terrible. He's absolutely the worst. Absolutely the worst. Talk about a diva. Woo. Man, oh man. Sorry if you liked him.
Burke would later ask why Punk took to the media to make his comments rather than saying it to his face, but otherwise dismissed them. Number 6. Hulk Hogan. The Hulkster is definitely not one of CM Punk's favourites, as seen when Punk discussed his favourite wrestler, Rowdy Roddy Piper, and was then asked about Hulk Hogan.
Who's the Hogan guy?
You've met him though now.
I've met him, and like him even less now.
You're crushing my childhood dreams.
Him.
The Hulkster seems to have an idea what might have caused Punk to lose his mind about him. During an appearance on Stone Cold Steve Austin's podcast, Hogan recalled, "I walked into the dressing room for the Raw 15th anniversary, and there was a guy there named CM Punk. I don't know who he is. I heard I had heat because I didn't say hi to him. I only remember flying from California with RVD for the show, and my phone is going off because my home life is falling apart. I'm walking through the dressing room, and all I can think about is getting home to fix my home life." The Raw 15th anniversary show occurred in 2007, which matches when Hogan's marriage to Linda Hogan was on the rocks. Whether there's more to the story is unknown at this point. Number 7. The Miz. While it's difficult to truly understand an individual's personality from the always murky news in the professional world of wrestling, the claim can definitely be made that CM Punk is thin-skinned. When The Miz appeared on WWE backstage, he made the quip that he hadn't changed the culture, alluding to Punk of course.
Name one that was better. Name one. Oh, sorry to change the culture. My bad.
Punk went absolutely ballistic, tweeting, "Go suck a blood money covered dick in Saudi Arabia, you fucking dork." Punk later deleted the tweet. While Punk was justifiably upset by the Miz's sarcasm, the heat seems to stem back to WrestleMania 27, when Punk was very upset that the Miz got to main event WrestleMania and he didn't, and still hasn't to this day. The reply, however, was still a bit harsh. And number 8, Hornswoggle. The former WWE superstar Hornswoggle enjoyed a long run in the WWE and made a number of friends with his fellow superstars, including CM Punk. The former Leprechaun shared a strange story about CM Punk during a shoot interview with kayfabe commentaries. According to Swoggle, he and Punk became good friends during their time together in the company, but that suddenly changed after Hornswoggle made a seemingly harmless request. Did he ask him for a few bucks to cover the road expenses? Did he ask Punk what his secret was to scoring dates with many of the WWE's female superstars?
I asked for one of our friends' phone numbers.
From him?
Yeah.
A mutual friend of yours and Punk's?
That he introduced me to, yeah.
At that point, CM Punk allegedly ended his friendship with Hornswoggle, claiming his former friend was obviously using him. What a strange guy. But there you have it, guys. Wrestlers CM Punk is friends with, and those he can't stand or can't stand him. Be sure to leave your comments down below, subscribe if you haven't already, follow us on Instagram and Twitter, and I'll see you next time with some more wrestling content.